Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 418's Fire American Soccer Show as we will review Matchday 13 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Joining me once again, my co-host, Michael Martinez from Cascadia FC, as we talk about these big four matches. You know, we had one amazing match. We had two tight ones, and we had one that while no goals were scored, it was actually exciting to watch.
The match in question was honestly incredible from both sides, especially the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a lot to say about that Ghana England game. We'll get to that later, but it was a good day for football for the last day of a match day, or match day 2, I guess, for groups.
Yeah. Exactly. It was for this. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final match day for the second games of the group stage. And of course, tomorrow starts the simultaneous matches for the next 4 days. So we're going to be very, very busy these next 4 days. So there's going to be a lot of hard hitting reviewing when we get to it. So it should be exciting and it should be a lot of fun. So can't wait for that to happen. I want to talk about before we begin the show, and I caught this in on the local news here where I am, and it's in Miami Beach. There's a place called Burgermeister. It's mostly in South Florida here. There's Miami Beach, and there's a location in Brickell. The location at Miami Beach, you know, it's really, really a strange one. Apparently, they have a code enforcement, what you can and cannot hang around either inside your business or outside your business along the sidewalk. And apparently, the owner of Burgermeister had all these different flags of the different countries that are involved in the World Cup,
That's fun.
inside and outside. And let me hang on 1 second here, because if my camera's starting to act up on me again, I'm going to have to open up my laptop, which I'm going to have to do now because this thing is acting up on me. Yep, there it goes. I just lost my camera. Let's see here now. We got to get to my camera here. Okay. And I think I lost my camera. Let me see if I can open up my laptop and let's see what happens.
Take your time.
It kind of still is stuck on it, which I can't stand.
Yeah, it's okay. As long as one of us is on camera, that's what matters, right?
I know. Oh, there I am.
Yeah,
okay. Here I am. So I'm going to have to go like that now. All right. Because I don't trust this camera. All right. I guess I am on camera. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But right now, so apparently there's code enforcement for in Miami Beach. And basically, the flags that are on the outside of the building, hanging around, like in the air, that's tied up in by the awning.
The little ones that go like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're all stretched out, and there's some flags inside the potted plants. The little ferns. So apparently, the owner is about to get He's about to get a fine from the code enforcement because apparently he claims that's illegal, meaning he thought it was a FIFA issue because FIFA's not allowing anyone to have anything, merchandising, whatever it is, through their names and stuff, because that's not what this guy did. He's just advertising the World Cup on his own with all the different country flags. Come on in, have a great burger. Watch the games at his place, have a great drink, have a great meal, all that other fun stuff. And they fined him. They fined him for this. And they said to him, either, you stop serving your guests, get your workers to come out and take down the flags outside the building, or you're going to get fined.
That's I've never heard in my entire life.
I know, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. And the owner said, no, I will not do this. So if you want to fine me, go ahead. And which he did. He got fined. Apparently, good news, the manager of that department of Miami Beach called the owner and apologized because those were not the illegal flags that were against the code of conduct.
What flags are illegal? Like what possibly could be considered illegal?
Like you ever see like those advertisement flags, it's like it has like beer on it or, you know, drink, food, whatever it is, like, it comes from Bud Light or it comes from Budweiser or
That's
Coors or
so
something
weird
like
because you
that.
think that a bar or restaurant like if there's those places sponsor those restaurants
Yes,
like giving
I
them
know.
that okay that's just
Yeah, yeah.
stupid. Well,
Because you
I'm
know
glad it
how
got resolved, but like
it got resolved. It got resolved. But I just want to say this to the people, look, I understand that. Let me see if now the camera's going to turn me off. Let's see here.
and you're up.
And nope. Am I still stuck? Yep. Okay. So the camera itself, when I close my laptop, I'm stuck on it. So I might as well just reopen it again and, not have this issue again. Okay. There we go. All right. It'll pop back up, hopefully. And we'll see what happens. Do that. And now do that. Okay. I'm just going to leave the laptop open. And if whatever it is, I don't care. Everyone knows I'm here. I'm here, everybody. Don't worry. I'm here. You can hear me. I know. Don't worry. It's my camera issue. I'm going to try and fix as much as I can. But anyway, as I was trying to say, this is ridiculous. This is silly. This is stupid. And I mean, look, I understand FIFA doesn't want anyone to mooch on their situation, which I understand. But what the owner of the burger place did was not illegal. So all I can say is that, well, first of all, I'm glad it's resolved and the manager of that code enforcement department did fix it. Can't you just ask your so-called fine hunters to just throw out a piece of paper and say, this is your warning, but this is what you can or can't do?
You would think they would do that, but
You would think they would do that. I know. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. What are you going to do? I don't know. Anyway, it's time to bring in our guest now, of course. And once again, it is Kenta Hagiwara joining us for AFC Asian National Teams Talk. Ignore my camera, Kenta. I'm having issues at the moment, but Michael's here. You're here. I'm here. Just you can't see me right now. I'll try and fix my camera situation while we're talking. But, I think we all expected this to happen, that Uzbekistan was going to be sent to the woodshed and chopped up from start to finish.
I mean, I expected a better defensive performance than what they put together today, if that's what you're asking.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Asian qualifiers, it's a tough benchmark to kind of to use. I mean, Uzbekistan were in a group. If we go all the way through this qualification cycle into the World Cup, in round 3, they were in a group with Iran where they fared very well against this Iran team. So that's where my confidence kind of comes from with this group, is they can kind of duke it out with, I think, a lot of Asia's best teams. And they finished pretty confidently in second place, moving on to their first ever World Cup. And they were also in a group with the UAE and Qatar obviously disappointing in their own right. And the UAE didn't even qualify for this tournament. So when you have a debutant like Uzbekistan, it's really difficult to kind of gauge what they'll actually be able to do until you see the opening match. And I thought they held their own at times against Colombia in the opening match, where it gave me a bit more confidence going into this, and especially with how poor Portugal had played in the first match. But yeah, obviously, kind of the early goal changes the complexion of the match, where if you hold on to that first hydration break, I think it probably changes how you approach the latter part of this match. But obviously that doesn't happen, and the floodgates kind of just opened up.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if you know why, but Uzbekistan changed their keeper for this game after the first one, and also seemed like they changed their defensive structure a little bit. They were sitting a little further back, which you kind of expect when you're playing against a team like Portugal, but it definitely, compared to the first game, it felt like it was like almost night and day.
Yeah, I mean, Yusupov had a disastrous match against Colombia. I think like he was so poor. I think he recorded one save, and like some of those goals that he conceded, he really should have stopped. So I think it just comes from that. I don't know if there is any other an actual explanation behind why there was a goalkeeper switch, but it's not overly surprising considering how he played against Colombia. And yeah, and in terms of playing against Portugal, it was no surprise that they were going to sit in deeper because they're not going to win the ball in the midfield against this Portugal team. So you kind of have to sit in deep, right? And kind of absorb pressure.
No, absolutely. I have to say, I really thought they did their best out there. But when you have Cristiano Ronaldo out there, and he's dictating the play in some ways, it's going to be hard for them to find a way to get at least a result. I mean, I was hoping they would at least get maybe a draw out of it, or not get handed to them so badly the way they did. But once again, look, you're going to face these powerhouses from Europe no matter what. And Portugal, while they have their own issues, of course, they're still better than what Uzbekistan was, even though they're debutants in this World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really understand some of the moves that he made. Again, like you talked about the goalkeeper switch. I'm assuming it's just because of the performance in the first match. But even not starting Udinov, I think, is a detriment to what Uzbekistan would have been able to do on the counter at times. Ganiev, the former Shabab Ali midfielder, who's really just a box-to-box midfielder, is the replacement in that 11 from Udinov in the opening match, and that's just confusing to me because I really do think Uzbekistan at their best are, especially against teams that are going to possess the ball at a higher clip than they are a team that can really cause a lot of problems with their attacking trio of Shomurodov and Faizulayev, but also Udinov. Udinov is a fantastic talent in his own right. So the fact that not only did Udinov, not start, but he didn't even come off the bench, I guess because the match is so far apart, you don't bring him on. But, if the concern was he's playing in the PGPL and he's playing in Iran, hasn't played matches in league play because he's playing for Persepolis since like February, right? If that's the concern, then why did he start the first match against Colombia and now he's getting benched? Like the logic there doesn't really track. If it's the reverse, I guess you can give him a little bit more leeway and say, Udinov hasn't played a league competitive match outside of the friendlies leading into the World Cup since February in Iran. So it's, that's why he's not there's no reasoning there. Udinov put in a solid shift in that opening match against Colombia. So it's just kind of confusing why that's the approach you go with when the only real chance you had against Portugal was being able to be really defensively solid, which I think Udinov still gives you plenty defensively in terms of what you can do pressing off the ball, but also it's your ability to hit on the counter and really make good of your chances. And getting rid of one of your key players moving forward just is a head scratcher.
And then talking about their transition and their counterattacking, I mean, Shomurodov, he did decently well being so isolated by himself so much, and compared to the first game we saw with that front three doing so well, their connecting play was really, really good. And against Colombia, they didn't get a result, but they still looked really good. And I was just disappointed to see that was lacking all game.
Yeah, I mean, I get why you would want to bring Ganiev in, but it's just one of those really pessimistic moves to make in a World Cup where you're giving up. And it feels like a lot of World Cup teams are doing this, where they'd rather get the player that can press well to start the match and be defensively sound and bring in your attacking talents later on in the match. We see it with England and with how they utilize their wingers, I think, to an extent in their draw today. But it's just especially when you're in the shoes of Uzbekistan and you're not the team that's favored and you're not the team that's going to have the ball. You can't be picking your chances for your top attacking talents to be on the ball on counterattacks. You can't just say, oh, maybe it'll happen in the last 20 minutes of the match. It's well, no, you got to be there from minute one because you don't know when it's going to come to you, and it's not going to come very often for this side. So, again, not that I dislike Ganiev in any stretch. I thought he was solid for what the kind of the shift he put in, but he in no way is a super great attacking player. So it's just, again, a very confusing move.
He had a banger of a shot too. Gotta give him that. Even though the whole play was a foul, but like that shot was wild.
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad for the goalkeeper for Uzbekistan because I thought, great job to try and keep the ball out. I think his defenders kind of helped out a little bit with that little pinball action, but he lost sight of it and he accidentally has to backhand it into the net by mistake and puts it into an own goal situation. I felt bad for him, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Nematov, yeah. I mean, he's fairly new in terms of international football. I don't think he's earned that many caps for this Uzbek side either. He's a young goalkeeper, plays in the Uzbek league for Nasaf. So he's a player that like we've seen him play like in terms of like in Champions League football. Because Nasaf were in ACL Elite this past season, so like we've seen him perform, and I think he's had good moments, and nothing that's like been like mind-boggling and like really impressive. And then you kind of go like Patrick Beach has had moments in Champions League football that they had matches where you were like, oh my goodness, like this guy's spectacular. So it was surprising, but it wasn't that surprising to see how well he performed in the opening match against Turkey. I can't remember a match off the top of my head with Nematov that I go like, woo, like that's the goalkeeper, And I don't watch domestic league matches for Uzbekistan, unfortunately. So maybe there's a match in there for Nasaf that he did incredibly well for his club team. But in terms of watching Champions League football, it's been okay. It's just been nothing impressive.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, but still, though, we've got some teams that have one more match remaining that are still alive. I know, obviously, Qatar is dead in the water. Who else? Uzbekistan has 2 losses already, so they're dead in the water too. And looking here at all the standings, Iraq has 2 losses. I mean, basically, I don't know if Group I will have the ability to go for that 3rd place position, depending on goal differential. We'll see what happens. Jordan, I think they're also dead in the water, thanks to Algeria, unfortunately. I mean, right now, South Korea has a chance.
Japan.
Obviously, Japan's going to move on. We all know Japan is. I know Kent will be smiling on that one. And then who else we got here?
And we got like
right now. Oh yeah, Australia's, and they're going to be facing Paraguay next. So I mean, they I would say Japan, South Korea, Australia. I mean, those are the 3 nations right now that are going to survive and advance through and represent AFC, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan, Iraq, Uzbekistan have lost both matches, so it's going to be an uphill climb if they even have a mathematical probability to kind of make it into the knockouts of this tournament. Those 3 include 2 debutants in Iraq who had a very tough path to even get into this World Cup. So it's no real surprise there. And then the 2 teams I was really down on coming into the World Cup, Qatar and Saudi Arabia, 1 draw, 1 loss for both of those teams. They're sitting on 1 point, so a win should send them through. But again, like they've done nothing in this competition. They kind of proved that they're able to do to earn a quality win. Qatar playing Bosnia tomorrow, potentially. I think.
Yeah, tomorrow,
I think so. Yep, tomorrow.
I guess today, because the date has changed over for me at this point. And then Saudi Arabia have the tough matchup against Cape Verde, who have been very, very impressive and pleasant surprise. But then, the 4 teams that I think have a more realistic shot. The 2 that are in 3 points, South Korea and Australia, have a win and a loss heading into their final match days. And if they can keep the goal differential close and get a draw or a win, I think you're sitting pretty for at least a 3rd place finish, if not moving on as the top 2 team in your group. And Iran are in an interesting place because they haven't lost a match. They're on 2 draws, so the goal differential's in their favor. And if they can get a win against Egypt, that changes the. I mean, they could potentially win the group. And if that's not the case, but they still get a draw, I feel like there's going to be a lot of potentially going to be some 3-point teams in third place that have a negative goal differential, and sitting on 0 might actually be enough to move on. So that'll be potentially a waiting game for them. And then Japan, already sitting on 4 points with the win and the draw, and a good goal differential from that win against Tunisia in the 4-0 win. Yeah, I think as long as they don't completely blow up against Sweden on the final match day back in Dallas, or in the Cowboys Stadium at AT&T, as long as they don't do that, they should be fine as a pretty solid top 2 team. Maybe a top 3 team, depending on where the seeding goes. But 4 points, regardless of goal differential, probably should send you through anyway. So not too concerned about Japan heading into the knockout stage.
Nope, me neither. I'm not too concerned about them either, unless they really have unless they really blow a gasket. Then you have to start asking questions. But I just don't see this Japanese team absolutely falling apart like on the last match day. I think they're going to go out. I think they're going to take Sweden out, and they're going to take them out pretty badly. I really feel Sweden is that they just don't have enough quality to sustain, a match against a really top-notch Japanese side that can definitely take you down in 5 seconds.
It's a shame because Sweden had the dream start on their opening match day. So now they're at a neutral goal differential because of the bad loss to the Netherlands, and If they go out of this tournament after the win that they had to start the tournament, that would be pretty darn disappointing, I think.
Be heart-wrenching.
It would be. Sure. Yeah. I know a couple of Swedes on a certain MLS side that probably would be upset right now if that did happen. And you know who he is. I know you guys know who it is. Emil Forsberg and Gustav Berggren.
You know what? This makes me use Forsberg, honestly.
They'll be shedding Swedish tears. Yes, they will. But we'll see what happens. No, I'm kidding, Emil. I'm kidding around. I feel bad for you. Don't worry. I'm not trying to one-up on you. After all, how many people thought our guys were going to get grouped, and look what happened. They win 2 straight, and they're going to the knockout round. They're going to the round of 32. So it's really surprising how this World Cup, when you think you've pegged everybody, and then when the World Cup starts, it's like, well, it looks like I'm going to have to redo my opinions here.
Yeah, you throw all things out the window when it comes to World Cup. I feel like we had to talk about Portugal a little bit. I don't want to, especially I don't want to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. First player to score in 6 World Cups in a row, or in the last 6 World Cups. Oldest goal scorer in a World Cup. I mean, I feel like it was bound to happen. I didn't want it to happen, but it was bound to happen. And
they continued to give him chances in the way that they did. In front of the goal. Eventually one was going to hit the back of the net.
He could have had 4 or 5 goals this match. It was absurd the positions he was getting into.
Yeah, really. And you know what? Give him credit for allowing Nuno Gomez to take the free kick, because he stood there like he was ready to take it, and he basically fooled everybody. He played the dummy, and he let Nuno Gomez just take the free kick, and he smashed it inside the back post. I mean,
that was a training ground play right there.
It was
100%.
And then you see Ronaldo doing this, like, you see what I did? You see smarts. You never really see a guy like that do that. The only one, I mean, I can see Thierry Henry doing it when he used to play. Messi, maybe a little bit. I don't know if I think Messi would probably take the ball and put the ball in the back of the net. But Ronaldo, I give Cristiano Ronaldo a lot of credit. He really said, you know what, Nuno, I'm going to pretend that I'll take it, and then you smash it. And he's like, I'll bet. And he did it.
Free kicks have been shit for the last year and a half. So I mean,
yes,
he had no reason or no right to be taking a free kick anyway. But
I wonder if that stopped him from taking the free kicks. Let's be honest.
I mean, yeah. We've seen this
when has poor form ever stopped Cristiano Ronaldo?
That's very true. Yeah, we talk about dictator Mbappe. Yeah, that's dictator Ronaldo, but not this time. He lowered the temperature. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. but I give him credit for really, just letting it go and say, okay, I'll give you a chance. You go ahead and show me. And he's, yep, look what I did, boys and girls. I let him have it.
Now let's see if he can do it against the big teams in this competition now.
That's always the question mark, isn't it? That's always the
Especially
question
Ronaldo.
mark. It's like, you do it to an Uzbekistan, do it to a Cabo Verde. Oh wait, he couldn't do it to a Cabo Verde. That's the problem. But try and do it against Brazil. Try and do it against Germany. Try and do that against France. And that's the big sticking point in his career, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's always been an issue of mine
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens moving down the road. But, Kenta, obviously, was it tomorrow? The simultaneous matches, Group B with Qatar. Let me get the schedule real quick.
Oh yeah,
Group
I had
B
a question about
Yeah,
this.
go.
I don't know if you guys have an answer.
Okay.
When the two matches are playing, is it one on FS1 and one on Fox?
That's
do you
correct.
know-
Yep.
So
Yep.
okay, so I have to have two screens
Yep.
going on.
Yep.
Not that
Yep.
that's the end
Yep.
of the world.
No, it's
But,
not end of the world. No. So listen, if you want to do it like this, I mean, you can either do it through like have your main TV on Fox, and you can use your computer or your app to do either through the Fox One app, or if you still have your cable provider, foxsports.com, and then just put in your what your provider is, your email, and the password, and then you can just go ahead and watch it on the computer or on your smartphone. So you can still do that.
Yeah, I'm used to doing like when I watch J League matches, I have 7, 8 screens going at once.
Yeah,
so
you have to. Yeah.
we're used to the multi-screen setup. I was
you
just
have the
curious if I had to pull that back out again or not.
You're gonna have to. Yes, it's
Yeah.
going to be
Next
tomorrow.
4 days at least. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 days. Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday,
How
Saturday. Yep.
exciting!
Of course it is. That's how I used to do it. I had to
If you-
listen. When I used to work for a sports news service, I had to, when it got to the simulcasting, the simultaneous starters, I had my one bin with a videotape recording device to my left, and I had another one to my right, and I had to be like right in between and go, okay. That's all I had to do. And if there was a goal, just write it down. Have 2 clipboards, write it down here, write it down there. But if they both score at the same time, I'm screwed.
Luckily, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
No, I don't have to
we
worry
have better
about that
technology
anymore.
for that now.
Exactly. You're gonna have two match trackers like on one. What I'm probably have to do is like one window for the game on Fox and the other one for the window for the game for Fox Sports 1. So we'll see what happens for me there. But we'll see what happens. But that's basically what it is.
And that's for each of the 3 sets of match times too.
Yes. Exactly.
Sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
fun.
So you're going to have your work cut out for you. But think about this, though. You don't have to worry about tomorrow. You have 3 o'clock for Qatar, and then you'll have 10 o'clock for South Korea and South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have 2 Asian groups teams in the same group, so they won't be playing at the same time in the next few
Right.
days,
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Yeah, so you'll be fine. You'll be set. Keep one eye on the Asian team, the other eye on the other teams, and, you hope and pray you don't get cross-eyed.
oh yeah.
Or else you'll be pulling a Bugs Bunny cartoon, and they'll be asking you which way you go, and you're going to go that way.
Yes. We're bringing that one back.
I can't help it, Michael. I just got to do it. Come on.
I know.
We'll have some fun here. That's all. We're going to have some fun.
Well, let's go into tomorrow's matches for Kenta. I'm just curious. Like this Bosnia side, they are wanting to secure their third place spot and kind of move on to the next round. Qatar, they still have a slim chance to get in. Do you think, realistically, do you think they're going to try and take it to Bosnia, or do you think they're just going to sit back and kind of let the result happen?
I really want to say that they will, just because they've lost some players to red cards in the last match, so that personnel is going to have to shift and switch up. And I keep talking about Almoz Ali, and like it's about time he gets some minutes in this World Cup. And I think a front line with Almoz Ali and Akram Afif paired up can still be maybe this is just me holding out hope, but I still think they can cause a lot of problems for any backline. So I do really like to see that. I know Lopetegui has refused to play him, and he's played 0 minutes in the first 2 match days. And from what I've read, it doesn't sound like there's any injuries involved. And he's not an older guy; he's 29. Like he had you just don't understand what the thought process there, but is. Especially with the kind of the chemistry that he has with Akram Afif. So I'm really hoping Ali gets valuable minutes in this match, if not a starter. But yeah, we'll have to see what this backline looks like. Obviously they lost who was it? Alamin and Madibo to red cards against Canada. So those two players won't be available. So you're gonna have a different midfielder in there in that 4-3-3, and you're gonna have a different left back as well, I guess. I'm guessing probably Lucas Mendez, because he's been the guy that's been around the block at this point for the Qatar national team.
What do you think? Yeah, I was about to say, what do you think Myung-Hung Bo is going to do with South Korea? Do you think he might bench Son and have him come off the bench in the second half substitute role? Or
yeah, I've been asking for it, but obviously it hasn't happened. I thought it should have happened for the first match. When we were previewing this national team, I thought he should start based off the form he's at club level. Like, he should be the starter up top. Well, he can get from the get go. So we'll see what Sonny will provide for this team, whether that's off the bench. He's gonna get minutes. I can't imagine a match that he doesn't get minutes unless it's a blowout in favor of South Korea very early on in the match. So we'll see what it looks like. South Africa. I don't really know what to make of them, because playing against Mexico on the opening match day felt like they just lost all composure, and then they played a pretty decent match against Czechia. So I don't know what sort of team to expect in this match, but with the form that a player like Lee Kang-in is in, I think he's looked sensationally good at this World Cup so far. So I'm kind of hoping, regardless of who ends up starting up top, that he can kind of have another great match, because we've talked about just how important of a World Cup this is for his club career kind of moving forward. I think he's, again, close to a move away from PSG to Atletico Madrid, but strong performances are always going to help in terms of getting that move over the hump and getting regular minutes if you're Lee Kang-in.
All right. Well, listen, we will talk to you tomorrow night again. We'll give you the time when to come on. And as always, Kenta, we appreciate your expertise on the Asian teams from AFC. And can't wait to have you on again. Have another Diet Dr. Pepper on us.
All righty. Take care.
Take care. Kenta Hagiwara, once again, Area Sportsnet covering FC Cincinnati, and his podcast on the Asian Football Confederation teams that are involved in this World Cup. It's always great to have Kenta on and to talk about it. So let's talk about the last match of the night. Let's go right now. Colombia and Congo DR. 1-0 from who else? Daniel Munoz gets the only goal. I cannot believe the luck a right back has had from this national team, and he continues to put his team into wins like there's nobody's business, Michael. He's just been unbelievable.
He's been phenomenal, and his club form at Crystal Palace has transferred over again to the national team. And Daniel Munoz, he's had some attitude issues and some other issues going on at Crystal Palace throughout the year, but when he plays for Colombia, he really turns on. He's one of the best players on the pitch. This Colombia side has quality all over, and I feel like it's been a long time since they've had a really good right back specifically, and Daniel Munoz has just really stepped up and been that guy for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just amazing to watch him become this amazing goal-scoring threat. Forget about bringing up the ball. Forget about him defending, which you can tell he can do that very well. But just to see him from the right side of the pitch and just finding those angles to bury the ball is just amazing. I know it took a deflection off a defender, but still, if he doesn't take the shot, that doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah, no, and he creates so much space for himself, and his link-up plays with his midfielders and even his wingers on the right-hand side. He knows when to make that run, when not to, and it's really hard to find a right back who knows how to bomb up and down that flank like that.
I don't know if you've seen this or not, but apparently there is a Congo DR fan that he's in the stands. He brings his own pedestal, and apparently he mimics a statue of the first Congo DR prime minister who wanted freedom for his country before he was the first prime minister and before he was assassinated back in like 1961. And he stands there. The way the statue is, the way it looks, like he has his hand out like this, like this.
Mm-hmm.
And he does that the entire 90 minutes. He does not cheer. He does not celebrate. He does not pout. He just wears a suit in the colors of the flag, and he just stands there while everyone else in the supporters section is singing, dancing, flag waving, everything. I could not. I mean, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
He's famous in African football. Like his commitment to this bit is incredible. And honestly, it's more than a bit. It's a culture for them now. For them to have someone who is so dedicated to this team and dedicated to their country to continue to do this every single time Congo plays. I mean, they do it back home, and I know he had some visa issues getting in here. He also had some health issues before coming into the United States.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, so that was the whole thing. He had some health issues going into it and some visa problems. But who hasn't had visa problems going into this country this year? But I'm glad he's able to make it to this game. And really, you saw the way the players, when they knew he was there, they performed a lot better with having they're honestly their biggest fan.
Yes.
The biggest supporter there. And
yes.
I can imagine going into this last match day, it's going to be even more motivation for them to perform.
Exactly. I mean, it's going to be exciting to see him back out on the field. And I just want to quickly take a look at the schedule. When is that day for Congo DR to play? I know that they have to face they've already faced Portugal, they faced Colombia, now they're going to have to face Uzbekistan. And that's going to be, his next trip will be to Atlanta, Georgia. And that will be on Saturday, June the 27th. So they'll be at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Peach State. So it will be interesting to see where they'll be located and where him and his pedestal will be in the seats. That
right
is
front and center.
Yep, exactly. I hope so, front and center, because we got to see him absolutely perform at his best. There he is. They call him, obviously, his name is Michel Kuka M. Boldinga.
Solid.
That's his name. Michel Kuka Boldinga. And it's a mouthful, but you know what? No, good for him. Mm-hmm. Good for him. And those are the types of fans you like to see, that go to these games. It's absolutely fantastic. I love that. I absolutely love that.
I also want to credit this Congo defense and Congo goalkeeper. They faced an onslaught from this Colombia side, especially in the first half.
Yes.
Colombia, they're playing on the front from the very beginning, and Congo held their own for 76 minutes, which most teams would. I mean, Congo they're very hard to break down already. Just kind of how they play. They kind of play that harem ball, and we knew that going into this match. But massive credit to them, and the keeper who made. Let me double check. He made a plethora of saves himself. 8 saves this game, and his distribution to kind of get the ball out of the back as well, I thought was really impressive.
Yes, it was. He's very, very accurate with his distribution. He's just been fantastic. Okay, the other games that happened in the other group. We have Panama losing to Croatia 0-1. Before we talk about Croatia, I want to talk about Panama for just a moment here. While they did play well defensively, Panama, in these 2 games, only losing by a goal to Ghana and losing now by a goal to Croatia, you can say, top-notch stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they did put some pressure on the opposition, which I expected. What I'm a little disappointed in is a combination of they just were not in a good position to convert chances. And when the moment came for them to make a save or to at least help their goalkeeper to stop the goal that went in for both games, they were in very poor position. And I'll say this, they should have had at least 2 points. I can't say they would have won it. They should have had 2 points in 2
100%.
games,
Especially in this game.
especially this game. Panama has been a thorn in the side of every CONCACAF nation in recent years, especially against the U.S. Thomas Christensen has done an amazing job with this national team. I understand they were missing Cascadia due to injury. They've also missed another player due to injury.
Annabelle
I
Godoy,
understand. Yep. Godoy. I understand that. I'm not taking that away from them. Those are the 2 players they really needed in this World Cup. I understand it, and I'm not heartless about it, but I felt Panama should have done just a tad more on the offensive side of the ball with or without those 2 guys.
I mean, I agree with that. They created plenty of chances. They just don't have the quality up front. They haven't in a while. I mean, they're known for being very defensively sound, and they're dangerous on the wings. I mean, Christian Martinez was fantastic today, getting to really good positions up in that right hand wing. But I think until Panama can really like start bringing forward these new attackers coming through, hopefully, then I still think they'll still be a thorn in everyone's side as opposed to a real continental threat.
Yeah, I agree. Because, before Christensen came into the fold, they were okay. They were developing players better. They were having them on the national team, improving the level of play on the national team. But Thomas Christensen came in and he absolutely overhauled the whole situation, and they became a threat. They became a threat during the Gold Cup, Nations League, and in World Cup qualifying. And now they get to the World Cup itself, and like I said, yes, they're missing 2 important players, quality players, but I felt they should have done a little bit, just a teeny bit more to make themselves get on the map on the World Cup stage.
100%. And I think that honestly starts with the personnel as well. I just talked about him having not the best attacking quality, but I think not starting with Tomas Rodriguez, who plays currently at Saprissa, I think starting him could have helped him a little bit, especially like they had plenty of touches in the box, and I think he could have gotten a couple shots off or 2, just to like kind of put pressure a little more on Lukovic.
Yep. No, absolutely. 100%. 100%. But for Croatia, you got to say, look, they stuck with it. They were not intimidated by Panama. And, they probably were frustrated with Panama, which I don't blame them. But when they finally got the goal in the 54th minute from Ante Bunir, I mean, look, it was over. It was over and done. That's all they needed. Just that one goal, got early in the second half, and just cruised on, and were able to, get the result. And now they're only a point behind both England and Ghana. And, those 2 teams, that was a hell of a battle. That was amazing to watch, to see what England and Ghana were doing. And you just have to say, job well done from both teams. Yellow card each, it's fine. But, out of all the scoreless draws we've had in the World Cup, including the one with Ecuador and Curacao, England and Ghana was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I mean, this was my game to match going into today. Like, I mean, Carlos Guerreros, his style of football is definitely more of that, like I said earlier, that harem ball, like that sit back and counterattack, or he's also a type of coach that will get a lot out of very little, and he showed that with this Ghana side. They have plenty of quality players, but he did a fantastic job at kind of negating England's attack, and England really couldn't get anything going until maybe like the 75th minute when they made a few subs, when they brought on Eberechi Eze and then Marcus Rashford, kind of really opened up the game up quite a bit, but it still was not enough to really get anything going.
No, it wasn't. And even O'Reilly coming in, he really made an impact too.
He really did. He definitely changed the shape of how England was attacking, especially on that left-hand side. I mean, I love this player. I love Nico O'Reilly is probably going to be the next best left back or defensive midfielder in the world, and he's only like 19 years old, and he's starting for a Pep Guardiola Manchester City side. I mean, this kid's ceiling is incredibly high, and honestly, could be infinite. I can see him being better for England than Trent Alexander-Arnold on the opposite side.
Yes, exactly. Well, let's be honest. This England side is really talented. They're really good. I mean, it's tough to see them not bringing in Foden on this on the national team. But if Tuchel believes in some of these other players that are younger, maybe a tad better, and are the future for the national team, then why not have them on the national team? I mean, look, I think you can agree with me that this is probably for the first time in a very long time that this is a very damn good England side, and it can definitely make noise in this World Cup. I could see them making a trip to the quarterfinals, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know if they'll win it, but they can make the quarterfinals.
I haven't gone to the semis, to be honest. Like, this team is incredible, and like I said yesterday, Thomas Tuchel has his team playing really fun football again after Gareth Southgate's negative ball for so long.
Yes.
And today I will say Thomas Tuchel didn't get it. They weren't really getting too much. Like I said, they weren't getting too much going. Full credit to this Ghanaian defense specifically. They stopped every possible attack that England had. But the substitutes that Tuchel made late in the second half, whether it's O'Reilly, it's Saka, it's taking off Bellingham for Rodgers. And I feel like Marcus Rashford has proven that he probably should be a starter over Anthony Gordon right now, just based on the two cameos he's had in the last two games. But I mean, the talent on this England side is going to take them really far. It's just getting the combinations right.
Exactly. I have to ask you, what did you make of the collision around the 65th, 66th minute with Jordan Pickford and Prince Adu? I'll be honest with you. I thought Pickford was going to get a yellow card for Dawg, and I thought
I was going to get red.
I mean, it could have been red. I mean, it could have been a red card. It wasn't a penalty. It was definitely outside the area. It wasn't a penalty, but I really thought he was going to get the red card, and it was going to be Dawg, and he would have been kicked out. And I thought they're going to have to bring out the backup keeper to take his place.
They should have. I mean, if they brought on Trafford, who's a current backup for England, they would have been just fine. Trafford is probably a first teamer in any other team that's not Manchester City. But yeah, no, 100%. Pickford should have been sent off. Mark Gahey, Konso should have been sent off, and there should have been a penalty for Ghana. I think that was late in the second half as well. It's just two reckless plays from two players who are known for kind of losing their heads in certain moments. And Konsa is an incredible center back, but he makes these boneheaded decisions, especially when he plays for Aston Villa. And Pickford is Jordan Pickford. Like, he's kind of a prick, but like you know that just from watching him play at Everton and playing for this England side. But I feel like Ghana was robbed of those two chances at the very least. Yeah,
absolutely. And just to go back to to O'Reilly for just a moment. Unlucky for him when the cross came into him and he flick-headed the ball straight to the near post, and he hits the crossbar and out. And then there's Harry Kane, and he smashes it over the bar. I thought that was the moment that England was going to take the 1-0 lead, but that didn't happen. But still, though, Basil gets the goalie Asir for Ghana gets lucky again that he doesn't get scored on from England.
I mean, we've seen Nico O'Reilly get into those same exact spots for City, and he has put them across for Erling Haaland or any of the incoming winger on the other side. But I was just every bit of play that every time England got into the box, I was just like, when is it going to happen? But still, this Ghana side was incredible, and credit to Carlos Queiroz for having the tactics ready for this. He was, I mean, like I said before, he's done this with plenty of the quote unquote lower sides. And every national team that he's coached, they all play the similar style, and it's worked every single time. And I don't know if you knew this, little fun fact, he was actually Sir Alex Ferguson's assistant coach during Manchester United's incredible run.
Yep, I knew that. He's a journeyman coach, whether as an assistant or a head coach. I mean, he was actually in 1996. He was the assistant coach to Eddie Firmani when MLS got started at the then New York, New Jersey Metro Stars. And then when Firmani stepped down after a couple of games, he took over and got the Metros into the playoffs for the first time, unfortunately losing to DC United in a best 2 of 3 series. But still, though, he only stayed till the end of 96, and then he just went off into being this national team head coach. I think he's also – I know he's also the head coach of the Iranian national team for 2 stints.
He was, yes. Saudi Arabia as well.
Saudi Arabia. And where?
Egypt. And he also had one stint at Real Madrid for 1 year where he won the Supercopa. But I mean, so like I say, he's a very seasoned coach, and his style of play works really well. And usually I'm not a huge fan of Haram ball. I think it's just so negative. I hate watching negative football, but the way his teams does it, it feels different. I don't feel as angry watching it.
I'm angry, but I love it. How can you do this to me, Carlos? What the hell is going on?
So many conflicting emotions. I hate it.
I know, but you got to give the man credit. He's been doing this for a very, very long time. And if he ever comes back into a club coaching career, I mean, who knows what will happen? But he's doing great things with Ghana right now. So before we move on to previewing tomorrow's simultaneous matches, now, obviously, we've already talked about the craziness of this World Cup, how Tunisia fired their head coach after the opening match against Sweden. So apparently in the Paraguay-Turkey game, you have a broadcaster or a journalist from Paraguay, and he has been kicked out of the World Cup. His credentials have been revoked. He is no longer allowed to cover the Panamanian national team, including their final group stage match against Australia. So here's what happened. FIFA revoked the press credentials of Paraguayan journalist Jorge Chipi Vera and expelled him from the World Cup after he insulted referee Ivan Barton and officials from the organization during the broadcast of Paraguay versus Turkey. The controversy erupted following the ejection of Jorge Almiron, who was sanctioned for violating the new rule, of course, putting your hand in front of your mouth so you don't have to utter the negative racist words to your opponent or whatever you're going to try and do to your opponent in that sense. Covering their mouths with their hands to communicate on the field. Beside himself, Vera called the officials thieves and hurled strong insults into the air. Now, number one, we will not be fined by FIFA, and this show will not be shut down by FIFA because right now they're sleeping and they don't have to worry about what we're saying because we have no credentials from FIFA. So we can go ahead and say whatever we want because we are in CONCACAF, and we know when you have a referee like Ivan Barton who can CONCACAF you at any time, whether it's a Gold Cup match, a World Cup qualification match, or even a CONCACAF Champions Cup match. As much as Mr. Vera was probably in the wrong, sir, in our eyes, you are in the right. Ivan Barton does not know how to officiate a damn good high-profile match because he'll make it into himself.
It's wild they even got picked to referee this tournament. Same with Elfath, who does a lot of MLS matches. I will say, though, I will credit FIFA because, I mean, you can't say stuff like that. I mean, I think he was in the press box, if I remember right. Like I'm doing my broadcast there. You do that in the press box. Like, we've both been in plenty of press boxes in our careers already, and you don't cheer. That's a lie. We all cheer. But you also do not criticize or demean officials next to other officials who are going to report you.
Yes.
Like, so I mean, it was a stupid decision on his end to do that. Like, yes, I understand that. Like, do you like what we do? Go on rants on Twitter, Blue Sky, on your own Facebook or Instagram lives. Do something like that. Like, do something for your audience, but don't do it in a professional setting where you're going to get yourself banned. And he's probably not going to be able to cover any World Cups for a very long time. I mean, we have the Women's World Cup next year coming to the U.S., and I guarantee he will not get credentials for that.
Yep, exactly. And we don't even know if Paraguay does have a women's team. But if they do have a women's team, and he is going to go and cover that, he won't be allowed. He won't be allowed.
I'll take his credential, though. I'll go take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'll take it too. I'll take it any day.
I got denied, so.
Well, that's a shame. What are you gonna do? FIFA's gonna FIFA. What are you gonna do? I will say this though. Any active referees, if they do a horrible job, I mean, I'm not going to go intentionally after them. Like, I'm going to run to the referees room and say, what the hell was that? I mean, I'm not going to do that because, that makes no sense.
That's wild.
You don't want to be Matt Miazga, period. No. You don't want to play that card. But though I had a bit of a laugh with a former referee. He was the referee when MLS got started. His name was Brian Hall. Now, you probably haven't seen him, obviously, because when did you start following MLS and the Sounders?
2005. Okay,
so he was there for 1996 till, I would say, 2000, maybe 2001, 2002. And then he retired, and then he became part of CONCACAF's refereeing department, like, helping with, laws of the game learning and, probably, I guess, referee accreditation and all that stuff, taking the referee courses and stuff. Mm-hmm. So one day, I think also working for U.S. Soccer. Yeah. So, he's not officiating anymore. And this was a U.S. Open Cup match at Red Bull Arena / Sports Illustrated Stadium. And I see him and he's coming to the press box. I see him and I say, well, hello, Mr. Hall. How are you? He says, oh, come on. You don't have to be formal with me. You can go, well, I can't call you shithead anymore now, can I? And of course he's laughing. And it's a joke. It's just a joke.
Now it is, yeah.
It's a joke now, but then it's like, I can't then you don't do that. Now it's like, yeah, I can have a little fun with you. It's okay. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But look, I do give credit to. I'm one of those that I'll give credit to the referees when they actually have a damn good game. I can definitely tell you, the worst referee at the time was Bolito. He was one of the worst. He was terrible, absolutely terrible. Like he thought everyone was coming to see him, and when the foul, because it really wasn't a foul, but then it's like when you try to talk to him, he would turn around and walk away from you, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you turning around? Why are you walking away? You got to do your job and listen to what he has to say. He'll listen to you. He's showing you respect if you just show him respect. But he was like the worst official I've ever saw. And then, when I found out he was officiating the Eastern Conference Final with his Red Bulls at New England Revolution in the second leg of the Eastern Conference Final, I couldn't lie. I found nothing wrong because he actually did his job right. And look, I'm one of those where when I'm going to say the official was crap, I'm going to say he's crap. If I'm going to say the official's done a damn good job and it's right in front of my eyes, I can't find anything wrong. I'm going to say he did a great job because I have to be fair.
But
exactly, you have to.
But he's had more bad games than not.
Exactly, he has. And then the recent one of now is Fotis Pazakos. He is now the worst of the worst. I think the haircut he had probably got him righting his ship. I have no clue what the hell is he doing all of a sudden. Like, wait, He's actually doing his job. I mean, you're actually doing a good job as a referee. What did you do?
Hey, we'll take
How
it.
did you?
We'll take it. We can't argue or question it.
No, you can't. You can't. But I can't go off on the England referees because I don't know them well enough. You just have to take it with a grain of salt. But if you can see who's a crap referee, you can point out who's a crap referee. Whoever's a good referee, you give them their flowers, and it's like, all right, great job, good for you. Here's your cookie.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
That's it. That's all you can do. But yep. So we're done talking about the referees now, or else we'll be fined by FIFA. No, we're not. We're not getting.
And we got a big day tomorrow anyway, so
we do. We have a large day tomorrow. Once again, simultaneous matchups tomorrow, starting on Wednesday, June the 24th. And here we go. Group B will go first at 3:00 on Fox at 3 Eastern. 1:00. I'm sorry, noon Pacific. I had to do in my head the time zone difference. 3:00 Eastern, noon Pacific from Group B. First, Switzerland against Canada at BC Place in Vancouver on Fox and on Telemundo. And then at the same time, Bosnia and Herzegovina taking on Qatar at Lumen Field in Seattle. That will be on Fox Sports 1 and on NBC Universo. At 6:00 Eastern, 3:00 Pacific, Scotland will be taking on Brazil down in Miami at the Hard Rock Stadium. And also, Morocco will be facing Haiti at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. It will be on Fox for Scotland, Brazil, and on Telemundo for Morocco and Haiti. It will be on Fox Sports 1 and Universo. And then the 9:00, it will be Group A. Chile will be taking on Mexico at the Estadio Azteca on Fox. And South Africa will be taking on South Korea or Korea Republic over in Estadio BBVA in Monterrey, FS1 and NBC Universo. Once again, Czechia and Mexico will be on Fox and Telemundo, streaming on Fox 1, and of course, Spanish language on NBC's Peacock app or website. So obviously, we got a couple of teams that are gonna, cruise. A couple of teams that need the points badly, and maybe one team that feels kind of comfortable right now. Michael, which one of these games tomorrow are you interested in?
Got two. The Bosnia and Qatar. I think that one, both teams are fighting for that last third place spot. Both teams really want it. We were talking to Kenta earlier. Qatar has a very slim chance of making it through because of how poor they've been all tournament, but if they can get a result against Bosnia, they still go to 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably does secure them a best 8 third place team spot. And then the next one is going to be Brazil and Scotland. Scotland, yesterday we were talking, and they're my Cinderella story for this tournament. Brazil, Neymar is expected to play tomorrow. I mean, that's a story in itself. Everyone's been waiting for it, and I think that is going to have so many eyes on it that it's kind of one of those you can't really miss.
Yep.
This is just to see how Neymar does, and to see how the Scotland side can hang for the top side, and despite Brazil's mediocre-ish play so far.
And just to let everyone know, this is a tight one because Brazil right now, obviously, they have 4 points and they're +3 on the differential. Morocco also have 4 points at a +1 on the differential. Scotland's in third with 3 points with an even differential at 0, of course. Only Haiti has a -4. They've played well. They just haven't scored enough or done enough to put themselves on the board. I will say this right now, and I'm not saying Haiti's going to pull off a miracle, but Haiti could pull off a spoiler if they find a way to at least get 3 points on Morocco if they do get the win. And, and if Scotland can find a way to get a point against Brazil, because I don't think they're going to beat Brazil.
No.
If they do beat Brazil, then oh my God, then the whole group C is topsy-turvy. But if they find a way to draw and get 4 and get a couple of goals, I think, and if Haiti does the impossible and defeats Morocco, Scotland can really upset, or they'll just stay where they are, and they may take one of the best third place positions to advance to the next round. We'll see what happens, obviously, but that's going to be interesting. It all depends on what happens with the other teams for that third place position for the best 8 of 12. Obviously, Mexico's already cruising in. We don't have to worry about them. I mean, really, South Africa, Korea Republic. I mean, unless the Czechs can find a way to get a result, and if they can get a point, they may hold on to that third place position. But if South Africa can get a result, that could be a real problem, I think, for Group A outside of Mexico.
And Group A is interesting because any of the bottom 3 teams could either be eliminated tomorrow or go through to the next round. Obviously, we're expecting South Korea to get a result against the South Africa side, but South Africa is a sneaky good team. They're one of those teams that is still there. They haven't been that great this tournament. They're still fun to watch, especially in transition. Czechia, they have the quality players and the quality young players coming through. It's just getting the coach needs to utilize them a little better.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be too upset if they didn't go through, because they're probably not going to be part of that top 8 third place teams anyway. Whoever comes third in this group, unless it's South Korea. But I mean, everything hinges on these 2 games for every one of these teams.
Yep.
And
exactly.
also going into Group B, I know for me the interesting game was that Bosnia-Qatar, but that Canada-Switzerland game is also sneaky interesting because whoever wins that is top in the group. Yeah. Yes, Canada already made it through. That's already guaranteed. Switzerland is also going through. I mean, it's also guaranteed, but that first and second place for these groups is going to determine everything and how the rest of the table looks going to round 32.
Exactly. And because here's the thing, point-wise, yes. Goal differential-wise, that's going to be the big issue, isn't it? Because right now, Canada has a +6 in first. Switzerland has a +3. Bosnia-Herzegovina is at a -3. So right now, Bosnia needs 6 to climb back into at least a tie with Switzerland on the differential. And then whatever happens on goals scored.
But Switzerland does have them on head-to-head.
Yes, Bosnia has them on head-to-head. Yes, that is true. Bosnia does have head-to-head. So right now, Bosnia is behind on Switzerland, but they're even on Canada because it's a draw.
Yeah.
And Canada, like I said, has a +6 right now.
Thanks to that beatdown they gave Qatar,
yeah. I mean, I'm expecting Bosnia to give Qatar an absolute beatdown. If they thought getting scored on 6 times by Canada was insulting, wait till the Bosnians get a hold of them.
I mean, yeah.
It'll be a lot worse.
This Bosnia side, they could do a lot of damage, especially with Dimitrovic and Edin Dzeko up top. It's just depends if they can unlock it.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, any final thoughts, Michael, for tonight?
Just that round 2 was really great. Maybe not as exciting as round 1, because, I mean, obviously the hype of the World Cup. But, I mean, going into these next 4 days is going to be insane. Yep. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how this round of 32 bracket looks.
Yep, me too. I'm getting excited for this. And once again, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty before we get to the round of 32. So these next 4 days, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be fast, hard, and exciting. So once again, thanks again for Kenta Hagiwara for joining us tonight. And I want to thank my co-host once again, Michael Martinez from Cascadia FC. If you want your Pacific Northwest MLS action from the Seattle Sounders, go to Michael Martinez. If you want it from Jeremy Peterson for the Portland Timbers, you go to him. And also Vancouver Whitecaps Talk, all on CascadiaFC.com. Once again, I'm Daniel Feuerstein. Thank you very much for watching us tonight. And as always, please enjoy your football. Thank you. Take care. So long. And bye-bye for now. Have a good night, everybody.